Well, hello and welcome to, guess what? It's another Friday night update. I'm here with Gao. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Good, good, good. How are you doing today, bud?
Not too bad.
Good, good. Busy day at work?
Sorry?
Did you have a busy day with work?
Not particularly. Just, like you said, another day at work,
Oh,
the
well.
office.
Okie dokie.
Home office it is.
Oh, well. Not to worry. Well, we're here for yet another update. We are at,
Yep.
believe it or not, week 49.
I know, right?
I mean, like, wow. That makes it sound like a really fucking long time.
Sounds like it, doesn't feel like it.
Well, think about it, right? Another 3 weeks and we'll be celebrating the 1 year mark.
I know.
I mean,
Doesn't
like,
really feel like a
wow.
year already, but
No, it doesn't, does it? But yeah, we're going to be today, we're doing week 49, and it is talking about sitting on chairs and water bombs. And this is because of community feedback number 4. So now you can sit on chairs and throw water bombs. We also
yay!
talk about upcoming features in open world and performance. Well, I'm really glad that we're actually getting to sit on chairs. It may actually be worth making some now.
You can sit on chairs, you cannot sit on couches. Yeah, I
Dang
already
it!
took a sneak peek.
Ah, dear. Well, you can lie on the bed and you can sit in a chair, but you can't. I don't know. What do you do on couches? Become a potato?
I don't know. Spawn point? I
Well,
use my
yeah.
couch for
I
both
mean,
sitting and sleeping, so yeah.
yeah. I'm already in my spawn point, so I'm good to go.
I have a rather comfy couch. So.
Alrighty. Well, I have a comfy couch, but it hasn't been assembled yet.
Ah,
It's sitting in bits in the other room, cause and do you know why? Because I haven't got any tools to put the fucker together.
well, there's where IKEA comes in. You get the tools with the stuff. Hey,
Oh
Froggy,
well,
welcome.
that's pretty cool. Hey, Froggy, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate your support. How's your day been? What have you been up to? You've been working. What kind of weather have you had today? We've had some really strange freaking weather the last couple of days. I mean, like, oh my God. Like 3 days ago, right, we had gale force winds and, almost horizontal rain. Um, and yet today and yesterday, right, it's still windy. There's some quite high winds. I think I mentioned it last night's stream where I'm talking to Cornet and I can hear the gameplay and I can hear all the sound effects and I can hear the wind outside above all of it and I'm deaf. So it's got to be pretty loud before I can hear it above everything else. And yet it's been sunny and warm with a warm wind. It's really, really strange. We've had really dark clouds that threaten rain come to absolute nothing. So,
Anyway,
uh,
shall we start with the update?
yeah, yeah, let's do it. Though, just before we do, uh, Froggy says that she's farming ores, raising some pigs or pigs, and
Picks.
grow some wheat. Just a normal life in Astro Connolly. Colony.
Oh, you're into the farming into the farm part already. cool. Been doing some meteor mining, some asteroid mining and stuff.
Good. Good. Sounds like fun actually. Sounds a bit like Icarus. Speaking of
Not
which,
really. More a builder game than a survival game.
well,
Hey, Rodnop.
hey Rodnob, how you going? What's happening, dude? Alrighty. So, speaking of Icarus, let's get going. I'll kick
Yep.
us off this week for a change, I think.
Alrighty.
This week brings our fourth community feedback update, focusing on player driven improvements and changes shared with us on feature upvote. Alongside these changes, excuse me, we've also spent some time this week speaking about some of our ongoing work and upcoming features we're excited to be debuting. A large performance improvement is planned, and we will go into depth about what the changes we're making are and our expectations for how this will impact performance overall. We will speak about our upcoming dynamic quests in open world. Ooh. And finally, the P2P player to player benefits and changes as a result of our upcoming data decentralization.
P2P usually is peer-to-peer, but yeah, okay. Player-to-player. Peer-to-peer method of communication, which Icarus quite heavily relies on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oops, Froggy. Autocorrect. Yeah. Keep it in low war. 3 icebreaks were working. I don't know, Froggy. Do check whether or not, if you have the auto catches, if you can set them for specific resources. Or decrease the amount of farms so you use less war. Anyway, I have seen something, not sure whether it's in patch notes or I read it on Discord about indeed this performance issues. Basically, they rely quite heavily on a Unreal Engine. Not always the how shall we put it? Not always the best communication, the performance-wise. But maybe it's in the patch notes. I don't really see it at the moment, but hey, I might skim over it. So yeah, actually, it is in the next paragraph indeed.
Alrighty. There's a cool looking mammoth up there in that
Yep,
image. In the
cool
Arctic.
looking, pun
Uh,
intended.
yeah, we'll leave that up to individuals. Okay, so now we have an update on performance optimization, if you don't mind, Corne.
So performance is always something at the front of our mind in our work on Icarus, and while this has been a long-standing issue, addressing it has remained a priority. We have identified an issue that in early testing could result in large performance improvements for a number of players. I like the large performance improvements, but for a number of players, so
Doesn't mean everybody,
exactly.
which is a
I don't
shame.
know, maybe for AMD users, finally performance improvement, because they are suffering more than Nvidia.
Yeah,
We'll
would be
have
good.
to
That
wait
would
and
be good.
see.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Carl when he's up, when he's
He
back from his
might
holiday.
come. Yeah, he might come on today. By the way, he said.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Nice.
Right, Icarus heavily utilizes the Unreal Engine's runtime virtual texture, the RVT technology, to provide terrain texture details and environmental blending for our rocks and cliffs. We have found that our heavy use of this tech has led to a bottleneck on the GPU. We're working hard to remove this bottleneck, which we expect to significantly improve performance. But this change will take a while to implement due to us having to make changes to a large number of terrain assets. We know they are working quite closely with NVIDIA.
Yeah.
So close that NVIDIA drives are actually also optimized for Icarus. They don't have that close a relationship with AMD, so a bottleneck on the GPU, if they use some NVIDIA proprietary methods, I can understand how that won't work proper on AMD. So
Yeah.
again, it's quite possibly that AMD users now also finally will get a performance boost, which is very good for those players.
Yeah, they've been getting hammered when it comes down to performance issues.
Yep.
You know, I'm so glad I have Nvidia.
Yeah, same here. Anyway, improvements such as this are time consuming, and once discovered, the work to rectify them may overlap one or more of our regularly weekly updates. However, a portion of our team is dedicated to improving performance, and their work is integral to our future plans and ongoing improvement of the Icarus experience. And here's something which does come from the Discord, like uh, they are testing on both NVIDIA and AMD GPUs. However, if you can't reproduce a specific issue, it's very hard to fix it. And the players like complaining like my AMD can't run this or that, or this is not working on my AMD, and they're like, yeah, but the problem is on our test rigs it works fine. So we can't reproduce the issue, so we can't identify the issue either.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they have people dedicated to the performance issues. Well, good. But yeah, I do definitely understand how they say, well, first we have to identify the issue and then we have to mitigate it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it is gonna take time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean
Yeah.
that's only expected.
Yep. Oh, and this prospector in this image is in for a rude awakening, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking he maybe should have put a base around that extractor.
Yeah, would have made it slightly less dangerous indeed.
Well, yeah. I mean, chances are you could probably kite the mammoth around the exotic node at
A,
Vane.
mem- a mammoth, yes. Polar bear? I don't think so.
Mm,
But
yeah.
also a mammoth kites it around the thing. As soon as it takes a shortcut, it's gonna trample your drill. I'm not
Oh,
sure you want that.
that's a polar bear. Oh my
Yes,
God. I thought that was a man. Look at the sudden size of that thing.
the player is crouched, but yeah,
Yeah,
polar
but
bears
even
aren't small ones.
wow.
This might be a Styx polar bear.
Yeah, I actually thought that was a mammoth just because of the just because the dark bit looked like the head
No, it's a
and
polar bear.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I see it's a polar bear now, but I actually initially thought it was a mammoth.
Hmm,
Mind you, but you got to remember, I'm like 10 plus feet away from a monitor right now.
Move your spawn point closer to the screen,
Well, I'd love
or
to,
the
but I
screen closer to the spawn point.
I can't do either because there isn't room.
There isn't room, so usually it means you can't move it further away. Huh. Alright.
Okie
Takes only
dokie.
one bite in your gum, yeah, Froggy. Those buggers, they hit hard.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. I mean the sticks. I mean we thought like the sticks bears were bad enough, but holy crap, the sticks polar bears are.
Yep.
Or I mean they're on steroids or something. You know.
Remember that mission where we had to take out the mammoth and a polar bear chipped in?
Yeah.
Remember the mission where we had to take out the polar bear and all the cups chipped in?
Yeah.
Man,
I mean,
those buggers hit hard.
we thought the cubs were the bears because of the size of
Yep,
them until we saw mum, dad, and grandma run out.
yep. Oh man, it was like one of the first missions in Styx.
Yeah, it'll be the beta, the Icarus Styx beta missions, beta testing, probably.
I don't think so. Because we did do, yeah, actually yes, during the beta. Because we did that mission again on our Icarus character, on our Styx characters.
Yeah,
So yeah, indeed, during the beta. Man,
yeah.
that was a surprise.
Yeah, the testing for the beta week, the videos for the beta weekend, the beta testing for Sticks are really good because the I had so much fun doing those missions, having
Oh yeah,
absolutely no idea what we were supposed to do next.
exactly.
You know,
It's all new and unknown,
yeah, and I
and then
mean,
play it with a character which has nothing.
yeah,
Talking
and I
about a
mean,
challenge,
if you
like it.
really want to experience brand new missions without knowing what the hell is going to come next, you have to play them all within the first week of release because otherwise there's going to be videos out telling you how to do everything.
For a moment, I was afraid you were gonna say, "Don't look at YouTube streams which show these missions." I'm glad you didn't.
Well, no, I don't have the right to say that. What I will say is, if we wanted to play the missions without knowing what the hell was going on or what was going to happen, we would have to play them in the first 7 days of release. Otherwise, there's
And
going to be a
preferably without Icarus Intel.
yeah, yeah, it's
Yikes.
yeah.
I rely heavily on Icarus Intel for mining.
Oh, we
Also
know.
for missions like what can we expect, but the
Yeah.
mining, oh
Well,
man, oh man.
I kind of cheated when it came down to Icarus, especially for the release of the game, and that's because I during the beta weekends I had amassed probably about 12 A4 double-sided paper with cave locations. To the
Oh,
point where I would actually draw a square that would label the box where it was. I just put a cross in the approximate location of where the thing was, and then I had it the following week, and the following week, and the following week. So by the time the game was actually released, nobody had any maps, and I still knew where all the bloody caves were. It was
let
great.
me tell you, I've seen people or like seen communication about people who like created basically a big placemat uh, from map screenshots with cave locations on them.
Yeah,
This was like pre Icarus Intel.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm very bad when it comes to remembering where something was exactly. So yeah, I'll use Icarus Intel.
yeah. Well, I kind of solved that problem by sitting with a pad of paper next to me and a pencil so that I could make a note of where the locations were.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway,
Anyway, moving on. We're getting carried away here now.
yep.
Coming next week, Open World number 2. Alrighty. We are moving ahead with our plan to develop the next stages of this feature, starting with the first expansion to the world next week, Dynamic Quests. Open World has been a big success for us, and your support of the new mode has been incredibly encouraging and a proud moment for our team. Dynamic quests require you to build a new quote unquote short range radio on the planet. which you can interact with to trigger the start of these objectives. These dynamic quests will provide objectives in the local area and biome to where you have built your short range radio, keeping your missions close to base and your resources.
What will happen if you build such a radio on the edge between two biomes?
Uh,
Just a thought. Can you trigger missions for both biomes?
I don't know.
Something we need to test next week.
Yeah, maybe you should be sitting with a pad and paper, a pad and pen, so we can take some notes.
Oh, I'll remember, don't worry. I
Okay.
might not think about it, but I'll remember.
Froggy says, "Or not watching YouTube." Well, yes, yes, that's
Uh,
to be part of
well,
it.
nah.
And then Froggy says, "That's not cheating. That's smart playing."
Yeah, like make use of the resources you have, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's what the community does.
Yeah.
We find information, we want to pass it on to anybody and everybody who doesn't yet know,
Mm,
so that everybody can learn from everybody's experience. I love it.
yeah.
And
And
that's why we're
this
streaming.
information, this information is available in the game files. I mean, I know Icarus Intel gets its information from the game files,
Yeah,
so it's all there.
yeah,
But it's a website I'm very glad exists.
yeah, for sure.
Right, dynamic quests.
Alrighty. Completing these dynamic quests will reward you with a specialized pod that drops down to the surface and, when interacted with, will provide you with a few different options to choose from, such as food, ores, or tools for your payment.
So this might be a first iteration of getting resources into open world, maybe.
Possibly, possibly.
If you like, you have mined all the caves throughout like half the map already, but you can use these dynamic quests to request ore. Obviously, no idea how much ore you will get. I mean, get 25 iron ore.
Yeah, that would
That's
also
not going to help out very much, but
no, but it would also suggest that you could, if you wanted to, semi-spam these quests to get more of, that they're going to be repeatable.
true. But we'll have to, once they come out next week, we'll have to then determine effort versus reward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But at least it will give an extra dimension to the gameplay.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, the next
more of an open world
paragraph
style.
is yeah, the next paragraph is relevant in that fact, as it says, depending on the difficulty of the quest, the rewards will scale appropriately, and players will also receive XP for completing these quests. Dynamic quests are the first step in our efforts towards building open world into being a vibrant, engaging game mode, and the early support you have shown us has given us acknowledgement of your appreciation for this effort. We're excited to build into the future of this mode with you. Looking forward to it.
Oh, definitely, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So we've got a couple. Yeah, we've got a couple of images here. We on the top one we've got the pod and what looks
And the
like
radio,
the
short range
yeah, the
radio
radio.
with the reward spot, I'd say.
Yeah. And then the second one has an image of, guess what? Somebody sitting in a chair.
Oh yeah.
So when I get my couch assembled, I'll be sitting in a chair looking at a picture of somebody sitting in a chair
Yep.
who has a really good view, by the way.
Oh yeah, definitely looking nice. Desert feel.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Alrighty, we've got some new features now.
Yeah, we are excited to bring you some highly requested features to Icarus as part of the 4th installment of our community feedback patch series. Due to popular demand on feature upvote, you are now able to sit on chairs, allowing you to finally enjoy the comforts of your elegantly designed bases and homes. Set your team up around the dinner table or rest in front of the fireplace after a long day of surviving the elements. The choice is yours. Sitting on chairs, yes. Sitting on couches, not yet. Maybe in a next patch. And
Yeah,
hey,
because
Mike,
hey,
welcome.
Mike, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. One of the first things that I said when we got the rustic bench um,
Yeah, I recall
was
me calling dibs on the couch and then
not being able to sit
realizing
on it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that not. Seats are only single seats. The 2 and 3 seat don't work. Tried them today. Same here.
yeah,
I went
but
into my open world.
that's probably because they would have to try and split
Yeah.
the space available between two or three players for a multi-person seat.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, being able, I mean, when we first made the rustic bench and made the chairs, and you called dibs on the couch, you were so disappointed you couldn't lie down and put your feet up.
Yep. I was indeed.
You were so fucking disappointed, and and the first thing I said was, "What? What's the point in being able to build a seat you can't fucking sit on?"
Yep. But hey, we now can sit on the chairs at least. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, next, we are also releasing the water bomb, a feature we've been working on for a while and are excited to bring to the tech tree. Designed as a fire deterrent, the water bomb explodes on impact and is far more effective than a fireworker at dealing with infernos with double the radius and guaranteed effectiveness. By the way, you craft them in sets of 5.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. The water bomb fits into the grenade class, although its specialized purpose for dealing with fire makes it ineffective in combat scenarios. The other grenades, smoke and frag, are also receiving improvements in this week's updates. I have not tested those though. I've tested the water bombs and they're fun to play with. I've not tested them on fires.
Okay.
And finally, we've also added the only missing trophy from the collection, the Wolf Trophy. So you can display all your conquests on the walls of your base. Not entirely true, because there is no trophy for the Komodo and the Crocodile
Or the
and the
Kia.
Moa or the Kia. But yeah. Does the water bomb do any damage? No, Froggy, it does not. It does not do any damage.
It's
I
purely
tried
a
throwing one
defensive
through a
weapon.
glass wall. It didn't even damage the glass wall. It splashed water around though. And as you can see, the dynamic image here, someone playing with a war bomb.
Yeah.
First time we see a dynamic image in the patch notes.
Yeah. The first time they've used a GIF in any of these images.
Yep.
Wow. Everybody's being upgraded.
Yep.
Okay. Whoops. A little bit too far there. Reworked features. Alongside our new features, we've addressed some other community-led changes to existing features that have either been highly requested or have come as a result of other changes we've made recently to core game systems. If you please, Corne.
Yep. And Froggy, don't worry, we will demonstrate the water bomb.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
here's something we have been talking about before. Was it last week, patch notes updates? Don't recall exactly. But the repair hammer and the upgrade hammer have now been merged into a single item. removing the need for 2 item slots for a singular tool that shared too many similar characteristics to warrant its own space and recipe. There's also a new input hint in the bottom right of the UI to teach you how to use the item in its new form. I have to admit I have not tried out the combined hammer.
No, but you did notice
We
the
will.
other day about the
When building the UI items, bottom right, yes. So I reckon it will be similar for the repair hammer now.
yeah. Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Tomahawk talent, which provided the ability to throw axes, has been removed and replaced with Berserker, which provide greatly increased damage and attack speed at the expense of durability and stamina costs. The subsequent talent has also been changed to an alternative, Controlled Rage, which lowers the impact of these durability and stamina cost penalties. So basically, if you go for the Berserker talent, you should also go for the Controlled Rage talent. So you'll
Yeah.
do more damage, but the second talent will mitigate the extra stamina use and the extra durability loss.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not into X fighting anyway. But
No.
then again,
Well, you
for a
pickaxe fighting. That's just
woodcutter, now this is X specifically, not pickaxe.
yeah. Yeah, but it's kind of like the 3 point landing and polymetrics,
Plyometrics, yes.
plyometrics. Yeah.
Kinda. But yeah, well, actually, let me see. It is in combat, I would reckon. No, not a combat. Then where? Survival? Let me see if I can quickly find this talent here.
Okay.
It must be combat, I think.
Oh wait.
Precipitation.
Can you not do where do you do your pickaxe upgrade talent things? Because it would be with that.
Habitation tools. Yes, this guy. Let's see. Speed chopper. Sharp. Discount access. Oh, here, Berserker. Greatly increased combat abilities with access, but increased stamina and durability usage. Plus 150% X melee damage. Plus 10% attack speed with access. Plus 50% stamina consumed by X actions. And plus 100% wear rate of access.
Wow.
Ouch. The, con-
Oh.
the controlled rage kinda partially mitigates it. It's reduced penalties from berserking, increased wood from felling. That's minus 50% wear rate of access. Still leaves you with plus 50%.
Yeah.
Minus 10% stamina consumed by X actions, which leaves you still with plus 40% stamina consumed. And it gives you 30% more yield from felling trees. So
I
if
wouldn't.
you want to, so if you're like a woodcutter and you need to cut a lot of wood, this might come in handy if you're willing to take the disadvantage of using more stamina, so you'll have to rest more often, kind of mitigating the speed in which you can cut wood, and it also wears out your axes way faster, so you have to repair them more often. So basically trading wood for the resource you use for your axe. Not sure it's gonna be
No.
worth it. I'm definitely not gonna go into there,
No, I'm not going
even if I
anywhere
would
near
have the
that.
talent points.
Oh
I'm
my
not sure
God.
it's gonna be worth it.
I'm sorry, but I just think that's a waste of talents.
Unless you're into the whole fight with axes thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're into chucking axes around,
Uh,
have at it and let us know how it goes,
you can no longer throw them. So, only melee damage, no longer range. Yeah, for me it's definitely not worth it. Like I said, you'll be trading wood for other resources.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
No, I'm sorry, I won't be doing that.
mm,
And I'm not
not for
entirely
me.
sure that I like the next one, but take us through it if you
Well, the
please.
bow crosshairs have now been applied across all weapons which have a charge effect, such as bows, throwing spears, and throwing knives. This provides a more informative UI when using these weapons. Uh, it's gonna make it more uniform.
How
So
how 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 on earth do you charge a bow, a proper bow, in the
you
say?
pull the string.
Yeah, but I mean, you can only pull it back so far, and the longer you hold it, the weaker the arm becomes, and so you lose your
This
aim.
the same is gonna be for spears and knives, which kind of makes sense as well.
Yeah, but I don't want that on my bows. That's what?
No, 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 no. You read it wrong.
Oh, okay.
The bow crosshair is now being applied across all weapons. So they took the stuff from the
Oh,
bow and
oh,
applied it
right.
to.
Okay, okay.
So nothing should change for the bows.
Right, okay. It's just that didn't make sense, obviously.
Yeah, like Mike says, your bow already has it. Yes, and it is now also being applied for the throwing knives and spears.
Right, okay.
So no worries, it won't change anything for your bow experience.
Whew. Alrighty. Um,
Okay, decentralization update.
okay, this is definitely for you, Carne, because
Alrighty.
yeah. It's it's techie speak, and you all know how that gets me.
Yep. So with data decentralization nearing, we wanted to address the impact on players who choose not to use dedicated servers for their Icarus experience and rather prefer to play in the standard peer-to-peer model. There are numerous benefits to a decentralized data model, but to explain to people who may not understand the tangible differences, Echo, here's a brief explanation.
Thank you.
All Icarus data will now be stored on the player's individual PCs. In the past, this has been stored in the cloud on servers we use from companies such as Microsoft Azure. This data includes player accounts, missions, save games, and more. The data is stored in tiny files, no more than a single megabyte, so won't take up space on your PC's hard drive. Uh, I kind of disagree there, but okay. And is written in plain JSON format, so it's easy to access for modders or people who are curious about their game data. The transfer of data from the cloud to players' PCs is the data decentralization. Yeah, no longer being stored central, but decentral on all the players' PCs. So data is stored in tiny files and no more than a single megabyte. So you'll end up with a lot of tiny files, not necessarily good for the performance. But that does depend on the amount of files. And where they say, so it won't take up space on your hard drive. Well, hey, every file still does take space.
Yeah, you can't
So,
avoid that.
exactly. Now, I do wonder where this data will be stored. Will it be in the Icarus folder in Steam? Or will it be in the user profile? Because I relatively frequently see people who like reinstall their PC and lost their outpost, for example, because it's
Yeah.
stored in the user profile. They did copy the Icarus folder from the Steam apps folder,
Mhm.
which is basically the game files. But they didn't copy the folder from the user profile, so their player files weren't copied. Uh, so yeah, where will this data be stored? That's something we'll have to wait to find out. Froggy says, if you accidentally delete it, you screwed those files. Yes, you will. I foresee more people losing characters due to various issues like, say, Fear Scanner going berserk and saying, hey, I don't trust this file, I'm gonna delete it. It might be a reinstall, it might be file corruption, all those things.
Hmm.
I foresee a lot more people who are gonna have issues there. I do hope there will still be some kind of cloud synchronization, like for example Valheim has, where it stores files locally, yes, but also synchronizes it to the cloud once you stop the game.
Yeah,
I do hope Icarus will follow this. So if you do accidentally delete those files, or if you do reinstall your PC, at least you won't lose your character and everything.
yeah,
And then I'm not even talking about your whole workshop and inventory.
yeah. Well, I
Because
mean that's
if
a
you
whole nother.
lose
Yeah.
that,
Oh my God.
wow, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Anyway, some of the benefits to players will have immediate impacts. These include there will be no cap on character limit. As with this data stored locally, we don't have to artificially limit it to protect our server performance. This encourages players to investigate specialized builds for unique scenarios. So you will lose the 3 character limit. Yay! We can make
Yay.
more characters. I
Yay.
like that. I
No
like
cap.
that.
No cap. Wow.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm now find myself thinking just how specific Carl is going to get with his characters.
Oh yeah, indeed.
He's going to have a gardener, a miner, a builder, a
A
hunter,
hunter,
a
flesh.
gatherer, a fisherman, mountain
He's gonna
climber.
go ham on characters. He's gonna end up with like 50 plus characters or so.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's gonna have a bowman, a knifeman, a rifleman, a pistolman. He'll be waiting for the
Yep.
Uzis next. You know.
Yeah. So, next one. With data stored locally, characters can no longer be lost or be mysteriously deleted by a fault in the servers, as this data is all stored locally and won't be susceptible to any problems communicating between the server and the player's PC. True in a sense. Like the last part is true. It won't be susceptible to any problems communicating between the server and the player's PC. However, can no longer be lost or be mysteriously deleted by a fault. Well, you basically move the problem to the local PCs. You can
Yeah.
still
In which
lose your
case,
character if the files on your local hard drive get corrupted or deleted or reinstall, things like that.
yeah,
So
but
you're
it
basically
also
moving the problem.
it also means that any files deleted will be intentionally locally faulted.
Yeah.
Because it'll be the
Eh,
owner of the computer that's done it.
if you are using a dedicated server, is this true? No. This is part of data decentralization process, but it's not part of the dedicated server issue.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's going to be like, yeah, there's an issue on your own PC now.
yeah,
So again, I foresee a lot of issues in the future.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
the downside to it is that if somebody makes a really really big boo boo, there's no comeback to it because it's definitely, absolutely, positively not the fault of Rocketworks.
yeah. So backing up the folder where these files are being stored will
Becomes of
become paramount.
Yeah, it becomes of the utmost importance now.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, I'm a sysadmin, so I could write a quick script which makes a scheduled task, which makes a regular backup and share it in Discord.
Along with where and how to install it and use it. Yes, perfect.
Basically, right mouse click, so save this file locally, right mouse click, run as administrator, and you're set.
Okay, cool.
I'll look into that once we have a bit more info here.
Alrighty, this next one sounds super
So,
fantastic.
characters are no longer bound to an individual prospect, open world, or outpost and can be active across multiple sessions simultaneously.
Yay!
You'll no longer be required to remove a character from a prospect or mission to take them onto a different one. This also means the remove from prospect button will be retired, as it will no longer serve a purpose. That last part is not entirely true. Remove from prospect is still a viable way of getting your equipment back if you, for example, die and your loot bag clips through the world.
Yes.
This still happens.
Yes. People still
So,
lose gear that way.
yeah. So you die, your loot bag clips through the world, you can't reach it no more. At this moment, you remove from prospect. So you lose the rewards and everything, but you will keep your gear. You can no longer resume that mission with that character, because then you'll basically relink the data, and then your gear will still be will once again be under the world, but at least you won't lose your gear that way. If
Yeah.
they remove this option, people will start losing gear, I'm afraid.
Yes. However, it also means that they'll be able to leave a prospect and go back to the same one.
With a new set of equipment. Run the risk of losing yet another set of equipment.
No,
True.
what I meant was like we've had to do it, right? Just like I don't know, weeks ago, where we went into a prospect and somebody else came in. So there were two players in, and I think it was you and me. We both had to leave because you had set something up wrong. But because you were also leaving, it meant it shut the session down, and we could both just then jump straight back into it.
Uh,
Is that making sense?
well, not entirely sure what you mean with that remark now.
We could restart the mission
Yeah.
without having any detrimental effects and being able then to restart the mission and go straight back down.
In order to accomplish what exactly? Because I set it up in the wrong difficulty mode.
Yeah,
So that is in the session. So
yeah,
even with this data decentralization, in that case, if we would have rejoined that session, we still would have had the wrong difficulty setting. So we would have had to restart the mission anyway.
yeah. Okay. But it's good to know now that the characters don't have to be in one mission at a time.
True. You can run multiple missions simultaneously with the same character. True.
That's going to be
There's
cool.
also like I've seen reports where people were like, yeah, someone joined the mission, but before the mission ended, he decided don't like the game, uninstalled, refunded, but this player was still in the mission, so the mission couldn't end. So the people couldn't get the exotics
Yeah,
reward, the exotics they mined during that mission.
yeah.
There is some notion about further in this patch note about exotics where well, actually, a couple of bullet points below, you will get them when you go up yourself, I believe, something like that.
Okay.
Well, actually, this is with the something which is mentioned before. Call in a dropship to grab the exotics and bring them back up.
Mhm.
So, yeah. And it also means that your player will then be proper freed up to do another mission. I mean, it might be like this other person is, for example, goes on vacation, right? You have a mission running, one of the players is going on vacation, but you don't want to complete the mission yet, because you want to wait till the person is back and then you complete the mission together. Currently, it means you cannot use that player for another mission. In the data decentralization, it means you can. I like that. Right, next one. Data can now be tracked instantaneously as it's stored locally, no longer relying on the connection between the server to execute outcomes. Some of the noticeable impacts of this include the workshop items can now be tracked in bundles and stacks, allowing us to provide a similar experience to planet-crafted items. We are also able to track durability, allowing for more crossover between different prospects and sessions. Not entirely sure what I mean here though. Worship items, tracking in bundles and stacks. And also able to track durability, allowing for more crossover between different prospects and sessions. Does this mean if my character is in two missions at the same time,
It'll be yeah,
I
it'll
wear out my armor in the one mission, in the other mission it will also be worn out?
no,
I don't know.
it
Maybe.
shouldn't
We're
do.
also able to track durability.
Well, yeah, but I read that as the right instance, but the wrong the wrong way. What I mean by that is it does track the durability, for example, of the armor with each individual character, even though it's the same one. So that character A's durability is at 96% and character B's is at 100% and character C's is at 22%. And it will be able to remember which character's got how much. So it
Actually,
tracks.
currently, if you take something down to the planet with one character, you cannot take that same item with another character. The item is locked to the character as soon as you join a mission. You cannot use that same item on another character.
Um, well, that's going to be interesting to test for science, isn't it?
Uh, I know this for a fact. That's why I have multiple Naneo sets. That's why I have multiple minor sets,
Yeah, well, I've
multiple
got two of
niche
everything.
pickaxes, multiple knives.
Yeah, I mean, I've got two of everything. Well, not two of everything, but I've got two of most stuff because I've had it for my main character, and it has been passed to the Styx character, but only if the Styx character has actually earned it.
It's simple. If you have one set of Naneo armor, you use on your main character and you go down to the planet for a mission, you cannot use that Naneo armor for another for the Styx character. If you
Yeah,
also want to
that's
use it
true.
for your Styx character, you have to recraft it for the Styx character to
Oh
use.
my God, if that's the case, then they better give us
Now it is the case at the moment already.
an absolutely, like never-ending inventory then, because
Yeah,
we're gonna need a shitload of gear for that. I mean, oh my
depends on
God.
how many missions you want to have active at the time.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, that's an interesting
Yeah.
question, though, isn't it?
Mhm.
That raises an interesting point. Okay, next up.
So the mission rewards can now be granted upon the completion of objectives rather than the completion of the prospect encompassing them. Talent unlocks, item unlocks, and rank can be immediately granted, and players won't be restricted from receiving the rewards if one player can't leave the mission or another similar problem arises. Actually, at this moment, uh, so you're doing a mission. As soon as the mission says objective completed and you remove from prospect, you will still receive the mission rewards.
Yeah.
It is already like that. You don't have to leave the
Yeah.
mission by dropship. You can use the remove from prospect and you will get the mission rewards already.
Yes.
Once the mission tracker says objective complete. So it is like that already. Not sure about talent and item unlocks though.
Hmm. Well,
So Mike says if you can stack the workshop items in inventory will be a lot more user friendly. Actually depends, Mike, depends. Yes, I have multiple sets of Naneo armor, but I have also multiple sets of miner armor, of hunter armor. You cannot stack those together. It will be still 3 sets of armor. I might have like multiple of them stacked, but I have a ton of different items in my workshop inventory, so it'll still be one big pile of items.
yeah, but what well, actually, now you're talking about that, it might then mean that in the inventory, if you've got 3 water bottles, you only see one image
True,
with the number of water bottles, and you can then take from that stack depending on who needs it.
true, but I'm looking at like 71 slots occupied currently in my workshop inventory.
Yeah,
With all my
so
character equipped, I
if
still have like 71 items. Even if the duplicate items would stack in the inventory, I would still have like 60 plus.
unless maybe what they do is they say, right, you've got 4 helmets, 4 chest armors, 4 arms, legs, gloves, feet.
Yeah,
Um,
but you can't
but
stack a
then
hunter
when
helmet and a miner helmet. Because then
no,
how you gonna choose which one you need?
but then when you go into the icon for a helmet, it will then give you a choice of Naneo, Hunter, Miner.
Maybe. Still, I'll end up with like 50 plus slots because I have that many different types of items.
Yeah, well, you have axes, pickaxes, bows,
Knife,
spears,
spear,
knives,
sickle, armor parts,
you know,
arrows, modules,
but that cuts you
suits
down. That cuts you down to one icon per group.
per category.
Yeah, per group. So
Then
you,
it might get down to like 20-ish. Sorry,
yeah,
might get down to like 20-ish still.
yeah. So then yeah, but then you're
Uh,
20 odd slots instead of 70 odd slots.
true, true. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this is gonna work.
Mm, interesting. Again,
Uh,
again. Alrighty.
anyway, so exotic extractions will no longer require you to leave the planet's surface, with the addition of specialized exotic drones you can load and send into orbit, all while carrying on your missions on the planet's surface without impact. This is a big one.
That's huge.
Yeah. So currently, if you remove from prospect, you will get the mission rewards, provided the mission has been completed already. However, you will not get any exotics you mined on the surface. The same if you have one player, like the example I noticed, I mentioned before, where someone who joined the mission decided I don't like the game, I'm gonna uninstall refund while still on the mission. You cannot complete that mission. Maybe the 90-day hard limit. Maybe. But still, I'm not sure it will then still give the other players the mined exotics. If you can send them topside whilst continue playing, you no longer have this issue.
Yeah, neither do you have the issue of too many exotics to carry if you're a solo
Exactly,
player.
my thoughts as well. So you've mined,
Or even if
a vein. You call down a pot right there. You send it back up. Then you move to the next vein. You
yeah,
mine it all there. Send it up from there.
yeah, yeah. Rather than, I mean, every single time we've done an exotics run, between the two of us, you've done the exotic mining and I've made a run or sometimes two runs from one vein all the way back to base
Yeah,
so that we know that they're all in one place.
yeah.
And then it's a
And
case of, right,
also, like the last
dump,
vein, then you go
dump,
back. You really have to to choose. Okay, what can I carry next to the exotics? Do I even have still have enough slots for food,
yeah,
for
exactly.
a 1x1 shelter, the bedrolls
Yeah,
needed,
yeah.
that
And
stuff.
and if we don't, it's a case of you better hope to God there are half a dozen caves between you and home and no
Exactly,
bears.
exactly,
And a Neve's pickaxe. Because that's the only way you're moving that any of that shit home.
exactly. So yeah, this is a huge one.
Yeah.
I
And
very like this edition. I
yeah,
like it a
that
lot.
that's gonna you're never ever, well, I'm not gonna say never ever, but it certainly does reduce the have we got all the exotics from
Yeah.
everywhere.
Obviously, we don't know what you're gonna need for putting that radio beacon down. I mean, we don't even know will it land next to your drop pods or will it land next to the radio you built.
It
If
should
it
land
does,
next to the
if it does
radio.
land next to that radio, then the question is, can you pick up that radio and carry it with you to the next location, or do you have to
Build a new
carry
one.
the resources and a bench to craft it, or what? This is something we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Still,
These are all things we're gonna have to be testing for science.
yeah, still, I like this one.
Yes,
Anyway,
that's a major improvement. I'm
yeah,
so happy that's there.
yeah, yeah, let's move on.
Okay.
Some of the benefits have a more future-focused lens, and we wanted to explain a couple of those also. With data being localized, so decentralized, this greatly reduces the strain on our servers to withstand large-scale changes and additions, which opens the door for us to dive into some of the more ambitious projects and detailed improvements we've been wanting to make for some time. With the impact on your personal hard drives being near non-existent, we can execute these projects without fear of causing further problems for players' in-game experience. True, true. If it
Yeah.
does need, if a new feature does require a massive update of player files, if everything is stored in one location, you're going to be hammering that
Yeah.
server part.
Yeah.
If you can basically distribute that load to the players' PCs, oh yeah, then you can do bigger updates. That's for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
Many of
that's key.
you, yeah, yeah. So many of you will remember some of the large server outages we have faced over the last year, and some of these have unfortunately been a result of forces outside our control, including our server providers. I do recall when Microsoft had an issue with their Kubernetes. It also meant that Icarus was offline. A lot of people complaining about it, and it took them quite some time to get everything back up and running. And now we're not even talking about the data loss in the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with the move of our data to a decentralized format, we will be removing the reliance on these providers to maintain their part of the motor, leading to a more reliable, less affected player experience with the game's active state. True, true.
Yeah,
It's just gonna be a question of whether or not this outweighs the additional risks.
mm. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, something we indeed have to wait and see.
Definitely. And finally,
So the other impact worth mentioning is how active sessions in games are played in multiplayer formats. With this new model, the host is solely responsible for the datasets surrounding a prospect they've started. This means, unless the host is online and active, the sessions are unable to be played by any other members who may have joined it. However, with characters no longer being tied to sessions, you are able to use a character elsewhere in the meantime. Two things. The last part obviously makes sense. You can't play the mission you were playing before because the host ain't online, but you can use it to play another mission.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But right now, any player who joins a mission can host that mission. With decentralized data, this is no longer the case. The
mm-hmm.
player who starts the mission will be hosting all the mission files. So he's the only one who can host that mission. So if you start a mission and the week after I'm not able to play because of reasons, and you say, hey Carl, can you help me out? Carl says, okay, and then you'll be like, oh, but wait, Go is hosting the mission, so we can't even continue this mission.
Yeah,
This is the downside, which, by the way, can be mitigated by dedicated servers.
yes,
So let the server host, and you all join as clients.
yes.
Then you can continue even when the other players aren't online.
Yeah, the downside to that though is that if you're in a mission that has a timer, you're
It will
also going to
continue the
run that
timer,
down.
yes. True, true.
So that's something I mean that doesn't really change throughout any of the missions, but
It's basically the same as it is right now already.
yeah,
So
yeah. But you do just have to keep that in mind if you're just jumping in for a wee bit, because
yeah, but
we
like I
jump
said,
in for a wee bit and we
it's
end up
already
playing
like
till
that.
3 in the morning. So
Yeah, but like I said, it is already like that.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's not gonna change.
Alrighty. So now
Right.
we have the change log. So the new content is uh, hmm pretty much everything we've just spoken about, isn't it?
Most, yes.
Most. Okay.
Sitting animation trophy. So added trophy setups and heads for conifer, snow, and desert wolves, hyenas, desert wolves,
Mm-hmm.
and shuffle some of those the group better. So not only the black wolf, but basically any wolf.
Yeah. Any canine.
Yeah. And I'm thinking we don't have the boar in the trophy bench either. I think, do we?
No, we do have the boar.
We do. Okay, good.
I'm pretty sure we do.
Okay. Added kill cam availability to throwing knives and spears. Good.
Yep. Yep. Well, I love a good kill cam. You know,
Yep.
especially considering that they never miss.
Yep.
Even when they do. Alrighty.
Uh, let's see. Disconnect the flammability from the grenade payloads as part of damage refactor. Will instead buff base damage number. This is to prevent the water bombs from doing damage.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're a defensive weapon, not an offensive weapon.
Exactly. Hey, it's me again.
Hey, it's me again. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. How are you doing, bud?
So indeed, if you craft a bundle of arrows, workshop arrows, take them down to Icarus. Don't use them, so don't consume.
Mm-hmm.
You still have them for a later mission. If you open a bundle, you basically use up all of them, even if you don't shoot any. This is true.
Yeah.
They created this bundle thingy to be able to take multiple items down without it's taking up like all the slots in your dropship.
Yeah.
This has been explained in last week's update, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
What
see.
else do we have?
Remove the water tags off of water bomb to stop the UI showing that you can water crop plots with it. Because this is not possible. You don't even need water to craft water, do you? Oh, sorry, no, you do. So you need to chuck your canteen or any water containing vessel in the crafting bench in order to craft the water bombs.
Okay.
They added minimum throw charge for the grenade so they can't be dropped at your feet. I've had it happen to me. It's like, okay, I'm gonna throw the grenade, and then it landed at my feet, and I was like,
Oh
oh
shit.
shit. Oops. Yep.
Says, "Oh, do you know where Gow is? Yeah, there's a bit of him there. There's some there. He's over there. He's over there. He's up there. He's down there."
He spread out over 3 different biomes.
Yeah.
I remember that from the introduction of one of the missions, one of the
Yeah.
Styx missions,
Yeah.
with the volatile bomb stuff.
Yeah. And Saul says, yeah, the volatile mixture. And Saul chimes in and says his body could be found in 3 different biomes.
Yep, it was a fun one.
Oh man. And we were running down the cliff at that point going, "Oh my God, what are we doing?"
Yep.
You know, oh, do you remember the first time we landed for the croc one and we heard that bloody
Oh, that's
audio
the sound.
file with
Yeah,
everybody was screaming?
screaming in the eye and stuff. Yeah, that was fun
Yeah.
as well.
And we're like, what are we doing?
Okay,
I
what did
mean,
we get ourselves into?
we're seriously gonna do this? It was
It was fun
so
though.
much fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
Let's see. It's me again. Asks with the tracking ability, does it mean if you shoot off one arrow of the bundle, do you still have 24 when you return to the space station? And as Mike says, nope. The arrows do not come back to the station once you consume the bundle. They will
Yeah.
not. Uh, will it be with these new changes? I still don't think so.
No. If you have to unwrap the bundle and consume it,
I don't think you'll be
you're
able to.
dedicating yourself to actually using them, and I've done that a couple of times. I've taken down a stack of arrows just because like I was suffering a lot with like landing and having to try and kill something that you can't kill with a stone bow, with a stone arrow. So I started taking a bow with me, and then I took a couple of bundles of arrows, and the difference it made was just huge. But it was really good because you could, if you shot them close enough, you could run up and retrieve your arrows, so you could make them last 2 or 3 times as long. So
Yeah, but I don't think even with these changes, I don't think you'll be able to bring any arrows back
no,
at all.
The only way you can bring them back is if you don't, you put them in a cupboard somewhere and forget that you've got them, and then remember to
Yeah,
take them back for you when you're done.
yeah. Only if you don't consume the bundle.
Yeah, you know.
Anyway, let's move on to the fixes, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
So clean up some characters assets part 2. Thank you.
Good to know.
Fix the wrong PM being used in several assets, which would have resulted in broken visual or audio effects, which would have resulted in, which means they fixed it before they rolled it out. Good.
Nice. Preemptive
Added a,
strikes, we like that.
added a validation check in the asset info tool to pick up those incorrectly used PMs to prevent future issues. Good.
Thank you.
More cleanup of unused old assets to further declutter the project. This is nice. Less files locally, less files in the less, yeah, basically files contained within the bug files means faster update.
Good.
Fix a mate extractor not animating. I haven't used them for a while. The IC001 extractor, the workshop one.
Yeah, no, we haven't used one in a while.
Exactly. So I
Mm.
didn't even know there was no animation no more. Because there was animation on it before, that I
Yeah,
know.
it unfolded its legs. It was so cool.
Yeah, and it was also spinning.
Yeah,
Anyway, remove some unused particles. Remove the unused particle system from the extractor base class.
thank you.
Uh, doesn't have to load no more. So less VRM used. Good. Fixing matrix extraction animation blueprint not compiling due to previously removed variable. Oops.
Okay,
Well,
so
I
it
fixed it.
worked. They took something away and it stopped animating. Oops.
Yep. Remove and use recipe holographic preview logic and assets from processor base. Okay, thanks for the info.
Cool.
The next one as well, remove level blueprint logic in reply test map that doesn't exist anymore and was flagged during the PIE. Thanks for the info. They fixed a platinum crossbow repair requiring composites. Now it correctly requires platinum. I didn't even know because we didn't attempt to. We haven't used them much and we haven't attempted to repair them yet. So
Yeah, exactly. I've had a platinum crossbow and I had a couple, I had some bolts, but I ran out of bolts long before I ran out of durability.
yeah. Hey, look, the platinum and titanium crossbows are now affected by cheaper bow crafting talents.
Yes!
Finally.
Within 24 hours of the problem being
Yeah.
seen, it is fixed.
So actually, I put a feature upvote in and also posted it in Discord. And the reply on the future upvote was, as already as mentioned by Twist in Discord, this is fixed in this week's update. This does tell us that that Rocketworks is looking at both Discord and feature upvote.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Fix a bug preventing throwing knives and spears from consuming stamina while aiming. Didn't they? Well, I'm glad I fixed it, because otherwise you could have aimed indefinitely without using any stun.
Well, remember when we were testing them last week? They definitely used stamina for me.
Well,
At least I'm
apparently
pretty
not
sure
for
they.
everyone.
Yeah, I mean, okay, not something that I noticed, but thanks for fixing it.
Uh, Fix an issue where manually placing an item was ignoring the return values from a remove only inventory. This means that players do not lose grown produce when attempting to place grown produce in a full plot. We were doing this already and we didn't lose anything, did we now?
Yes,
Uh,
I'm thinking specifically watermelon.
Huh.
when I took 18
Although,
watermelon out of the crop plot and only actually put 4 back.
and the rest disappeared.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, indeed, that issue has now been fixed.
Good.
And yeah, as someone else in chat mentioned as well, lost
Yeah.
a ton of was it
Squash.
squash? Yeah.
Yes, they lost like, I don't know, 50 plus squash or something that
Yeah.
way because they just disappeared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so anyway, that issue has been fixed now, so good.
Nice.
Clean up some more deprecated assets in the assets folder. Good. Again, less files in the pack file, so also a faster updating.
Mm-hmm.
Fixed incorrect shadow settings on several foliage types. Well, I always play with shadows off
Yeah.
for performance reasons.
Yep.
So yeah. And to prevent this in the future, added a validation to check the FT shadow settings. Good. Oh, they reduced the weight of throwing spears and knives by 60%. Otherwise, you have like a couple of spears on you and you couldn't carry anything else anymore because you were overweight. No longer.
The spear weighs 100 kilos.
Something like that, yeah.
It's
Good
like,
luck throwing that.
holy shit, good luck picking it up and carrying it anywhere, never mind chucking the
Ah,
fucking thing.
hence the drop off, eh? Hence the drop off.
Oh my god. You'd be
You throw
better off.
it and it lands on your own feet because it's so heavy.
Yeah,
Oops! Ow!
you'd have more luck trying to use it as a pole vaulter.
Yeah. So
Wow.
allowed bow crosshair to be used on more weapon types. Spears and knives, throw spears, throw knives. This basically ties into the next one.
Yep.
Implement the one below. Implement the blueprint crosshair interface on the blueprint actionable behavior throwable.
Yep.
And also use the existing information from the ranged weapon for animating the bow crosshair user interface. Good. This means that throwing knives and spears provide better UX to players, like bows.
Mhm.
See, nothing about changing to the bow, but more like
Yeah.
transferring
Yeah.
this behavior from bow, transferring it over towards the spears and knives.
Yeah.
Updated icons for the interior wood wall, double door, and window meshes. Oh,
Skipped a couple.
yeah, sorry. My mistake. Adjust the default projectile camera offset during kill cam. Projectile camera offset. Okay, so
Okay.
kill cam now slightly different. Yeah. I don't know. So if you're following the profile, the projectile, you no longer see it from straight behind, but more under an angle. I don't know. Something
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah. Okay.
To fix an incorrect camera rotation during thrown knife, spear, or kill cam. Well, since the kill cam only has been introduced this week for the knives and spears, we haven't really seen any incorrect camera rotation yet.
Yeah.
So this must have come from the test branch.
I've just thought I'm going to go back to the one above it. Adjust default projectile camera offset during kill cam. I instantly thought of kill cam never misses.
Nah, this is the projectile camera, so basically the camera that follows the projectile.
Yeah, but where does the camera go to not be able to see where the projectile actually ends up?
The in that case, it's like the end location of the projectile was wrong, not necessarily the projectile camera, because that one was following the projectile itself proper. It's just that the projectile landed in a weird location.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, update icons for interior wood wall, double door, and window meshes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I've never actually used the interior wood, wool, double door. So, nah, usually if I even use the interior wood wool? I don't think I've ever used those. Well, might be on, did I? No. I made interior wood floors, not walls. On that one outpost where I was like building a base over the island.
Yeah. Mm.
So, all the update icons. Thank you for the visual change to the icon. Let's see. Removed deprecated key bind hitch UMG that was replaced with the focus item info. So basically a previous change which needed some additional work. Good.
Thank you.
Change the default value for key byte prompt to be text on the left. Okay, if you say so. Adding some additional input context for various items, storage, thrown weapons, etc. Input context? Not sure what they mean there.
No idea.
The next one's also an FYI. Added the new ST inputs string table to not continue bloating the ST UMG. OMG.
Okay.
TX for the FYI. If we start using TLAs, huh?
Auto
And
FL.
huh? They removed the throwing actionables from the actionable X items. As said above, you can no longer throw X's.
Yeah.
Yeah, feature content I have not skimmed through yet, so I have to do this at this very moment. Creating landmine actor, no, not really interesting. Setting up the final steps for story mission 5. Swapping quest step to self-craft a beacon. Setting up the orbital strike quest spawning. They're definitely working on Prometheus.
Yeah.
Move the alien fossil assets in PRP folder. Again, the alien fossils. Yay.
Looking
Can't wait
forward
to
to
see what it's
them.
going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enable creature spawning on story mission 5.
Good.
Remove delete row reference for pro 5 story mission. Yeah, they're definitely working on the missions.
Good to know. It means we'll have lots
Audios,
to do.
audio setup for the aspen saplings and seedlings. I must be the wind in the trees.
More than likely.
Yeah. Edit the scoria icon and add it into the itemable. Okay. Scoria definitely looks like it's going to be a building material.
Yeah, here we go. Adding clay, obsidian, tomato, and potato mash hookup.
Two above that one. Adding basic mission flow for story mission 6.
Oh,
So we're going to
yes.
get at least 6 missions there.
Good.
Potato mesh hookup? Sorry? What's a potato?
I think it's supposed to be potato.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody get in touch with future feature upvote and let them know about the typos that we quite often find in the update.
Well,
We'll see. We'll probably be seeing that in future content. You know, fix typo in update materials. Here we
this
go.
is basically a one-on-one from their ticket system, I reckon. So.
Yeah. Add potato icon art and added it to the itemable data table.
Let's see, added breakable clay node, combined mesh, and added breakable obsidian node, combined mesh. Breakable node is the sledgehammer thing. Oh, I think I'm a bit further down than you, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I caught that one.
So, yeah. Yeah, Froggy says, now we can sit down, we should get plates and fork and spoon to sit down and eat on the table. Uh, so, you're gonna craft them with wood in the carpentry bench, or are you gonna craft the stone ones in the masonry bench? Or maybe concrete ones? Concrete plates.
Um,
The cutlery in the machining bench. He add icons for clay brick buildables. Told you.
yep.
Going down, added skeleton rig and bone mapping from the buffalo. These were used in retargeting the animations to the blueback. So the blueback is gonna be quadrupod, buffalo-like. Okay. Blueback, wasn't that a swamp animal?
Don't know.
I thought it's kinda pointed at it last week's update.
Hmm.
Fortifications! Wooden gate, wood wall, wood walkway, wood spikes, wood walkway ramp, wood forward ramp. Wow, we definitely gonna make a forward apparently in Prometheus.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a castle. Let's see. Yeah, see, adding sledgehammer impact on clay resource, audio and event. So you have to use the sledgehammer to mine clay.
Yeah.
Okay, clay is supposed to be a soft material, yet you need a sledgehammer to mine it? Okay.
Clay is only soft if it's wet. If it's dry, it's as hard. It's harder than concrete.
Is it then still clay?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Swapping new transport ship system to run off an EQS with a basic backup for landing zone selection. Pre-built structures now spawn on a proper building grid and can be repaired. Players can build off that grid. Yay!
Yay!
We can repair it and
Woohoo!
build out. That's
That
gonna
all.
be that's
That
gonna be
all.
fun.
Yeah,
Huh?
that also introduces the upgrade that we get today for the unification of the building and the upgrade hammers, the repair and the upgrade hammers.
I'm more thinking about this pre-built bases. We drop into a mission, then you run into Saul's hideout. You have to repair it, and then you can build it out.
Mm-hmm. And the first thing you're going to say when we do that is, I can't fucking find the benches.
True, true. Have you seen a pre-built yet? Not yet, Mike. This is future content, and in the last couple of patches, they were mentioning pre-built bases. They were mentioning Saul's hideout. So I reckon this will come in the Prometheus DLC.
And it's mentioned a couple of points below where it says fixing up various pre-built structures being used in the Prometheus story missions.
Exactly. And also updating Mo's base pre-built structure. So we have Mo's cave, we have Mo's base, or are those two names for the same location? Something we unfortunately have to. No, they added a new Mo hideout pre-built structure JSON file. It might be pre-built in cave. But then why would you? Meh. I don't know. I hope it's gonna be two different locations, cave and base. Because like 6 or so bullet points above the selected one now, the adding new Mo hideout pre-built structure JSON file.
Oh, right, yeah.
Eh? So yeah, we're gonna have Mo's cave, Mo's base, Sol's hideout. Nice.
Yeah. Mo did well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Here we go. Here's one. Added updated texture and glure to the blueback blueprint.
G4. Yeah.
G4. Sorry, I couldn't see the. I've not got my glasses on. So
Stomp
yeah.
movements added to the art dog and other various tweaks and updates. So Ardog is gonna stomp on you. He knocks you down and gonna stomp on you. Okay, cool.
Nice.
Hey, I see stuff about the dynamic quest. Adding base logic for dynamic quest spawning. Adding stats for showing epic creature map icons so they can show dynamically. Well, not dynamic quests, I think. Maybe. Adding experience events for different difficulties for the dynamic quests. Adding 6 dynamic quests with common reward logic. Adding roaming epic creatures for use in dynamic quests. Oh,
Oh,
sounds good.
they sound like the current, like roaming world bosses type things, maybe possibly.
Yeah, but this is called epic creatures, so even bigger. Cool.
Oh, oh, they. I think they just threw down the gauntlet there.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
Adding in.
This.
Oh, here
Yeah.
we go. Adding in predator, bird dive behavior and corpse setup. Still needs some rotation and target selection polish.
Yeah.
Pterodactyl,
No, no.
P-bird,
P-bird diving attacks.
pterodactyls do that.
Yeah.
Mind you, so do parrots.
Yeah, I'd rather have a parrot attack me than a pterodactyl, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Depends on the size of the parrot, though.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Wi-Fi.
Hey, Ri-Fi, good
Have
to
they
see
added
you.
triangular shapes on our top half walls? Uh, Not sure what you mean, Wi-Fi. Okay, wait. Added triangular shapes or top half walls? Top half walls? I don't think so. But we'll check. We'll check. When we do gameplay, don't worry. Triangular shapes. Well, you do have the triangular wall pieces. They were there already.
Yeah.
So have they added this? Well, they have been in game since I think beta already.
Yeah, yeah. It's me again asks a very poignant question here that I find
Yeah.
myself quite chuckling at. He says, after that last Scorpion mission, do you want even more epic beasties?
Well, this is
Yes.
dynamic quests. Dynamic quests are being started from open world. Open world means you can build a base, you can build a ton of weaponry before you even gonna start looking into dynamic quests. So you will start out with a build base and everything. So if you want to do a dynamic quest, you be like, okay, let's go do a dynamic quest, and you start fully equipped already. So you don't need that much preparation time no more. Uh, do we want to do even more epic beasts? Why not? Why not? I do like a nice challenge.
Why not? I'll answer that in 3 words. 'Cause we can.
Exactly. How much epic beasties battles do I want? Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
As many as possible, keep them coming. I'll tell you when to stop.
exactly. Claymores and tripwires. Interesting approach. We have rope, we have grenades, so we could make tripwires.
That would be cool.
Claymores. Uh, we
For
have
science, of
gunpowder, we
course.
have metals.
For
Yeah,
science, of course.
true. River says I don't mind roaming bosses as long as they don't destroy my base. Well, they do follow a set path, or at least the sandworms do. So if they destroy your base, it's basically you have built your base in the wrong location.
I'm sorry,
It's as
but
simple as that.
my my the humorous side of my brain suddenly said, "Oh, you definitely built your house in the wrong place, and if you didn't fucking know that from the get-go, it sucks to be you, pal."
Sounds like you problem. Exactly.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, I can totally understand that. I mean, if you've never done it before, I mean, gee, wow, definitely sucks to be you.
Yep.
However, I wouldn't want to be in their shoes if it happened, and you'd have my utter sympathies.
Yep.
And that,
Yeah, I
folks,
think we have done the update now, so I
yeah.
say let's round it off and prepare for some gameplay. I want to
Mm-hmm.
play. I want to play Icarus.
You getting withdrawal symptoms?
I'm not getting withdrawal symptoms. I already have them.
Alrighty, well, that does conclude our update for this Friday evening. Um, we will be back. What time is it now? It is 23:27. We will be back
It's
in,
half past midnight.
yeah, we'll be back at 23:45. So
So
quarter to the
that's
hour.
18 minutes from now.
Yes, at a quarter to the hour,
Yeah.
we will return for live gameplay.
River says, yeah, the half walls comes in bottom half only. He wants triangular foundation blocks. They're not there yet. However, if you unlock from grid, you can make the 45 degrees. There is a very good video about this on YouTube from a player called Ghost something. He does explain this and show this quite extensively. And Mike's you in the next stream? Oh yeah, don't worry, I'll be there.
Oh yeah. Alrighty. So that brings us to the end of this week's update. See you in about 15 minutes for live gameplay. Until then, it's good night from me,
And good night from her.
and we will see you in about 15 minutes. Until then, remember, people, it's a dangerous world out there. Take care of yourselves and each other. Good night.